Hey, how's it going? So I just want to make this real quick. I thought this was pretty cool. I found this on was a Ford Authority kind of website there. So it is some actually very exciting-ish news for the Ford GT. So they've reported that apparently it's been spied testing with an engine that's not the EcoBoost, and apparently there's been many different theories as of lately, or rumors, if you will, of a V8 version of the Ford GT. And it's cool. I'm glad to see maybe for the last hurrah of the GT and practically every other gasoline powered car, especially from Ford, that they're at least trying to do something special, do something like it should have been the first time around, right? So yeah, so this whole article goes about how they spied a testing mule or a GT that didn't sound quite like an EcoBoost. It definitely had a different sound. So there's other articles. The speculation is a V8, and while in this specific article it doesn't say that, they definitely say it does not sound like an EcoBoost, which is very interesting. Now, of course, in some of the other articles, a lot of people were saying that, or a lot of the other articles were saying that the possibility of Ford using the new 7.3 liter Godzilla is a good, good possibility, or a twin turbo version of the Godzilla engine. So there's always that. That's a possibility, and that would probably fit in the same spot as the EcoBoost. It probably is very similar in terms of, I'm sure it's probably just a shade, a tad bit longer. Obviously 8 cylinders versus 6, but overall dimensions are probably very similar. So I'm sure they could fit that in that, but that's kind of disappointing in a way, because it's funny, the big rival to Ford is Chevy, and the basically only car that was remotely could compete stock for stock with the GT was a Corvette. So now now you got Chevy with a mid-engine Corvette that's going to be going to turbocharged flat plane crank, I mean straight Ferrari. And now you got Ford with their mid-engine car going from their overhead cam, exotic-ish type supercar, going back to a pushrod engine. That is so strange if you think about it. They're switching roles. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I really wish Ford would put a little bit more innovation into a new engine, or a new engine choice other than the 7.3. Even a future, maybe like a future development engine or something for Ford, if it's not a V6, if it's something larger, a V8 or something. I mean, of course, there was speculation a year ago or more, actually now, it was well over a year ago, I think, about, this new 7.3 liter, this smaller engine that's like a 6.2 liter, 6 whatever the heck liter, or 6.8 liter, whatever it is, something that's smaller than the current Godzilla that would be put in like the Mustang and whatnot. Of course, there's speculation about that. Could they be using something like that and twin turbocharging it? Because there's speculation of that kind of engine being used in like a new Boss 429 Mustang. Maybe they'll put it in like a final edition Ford GT. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't welcome that, and twin turbos near 7 liter or over 7 liter V8 making 1,000 horsepower or something, that would be nuts. That would be absolutely nuts. Is it as exotic as even the EcoBoost? No. Is it as impressive as the EcoBoost? Yeah, it's more impressive, because obviously it's just a powerhouse. But honestly, the EcoBoost and the GT has been a really, it's been one of the most impressive EcoBoost engines Ford has made in all their production vehicles. I mean, it is a stout V6. Like the 3.5 EcoBoost, like you would find in like the new Raptor or the GT, is basically Ford's version of a VQ engine in like a R35 GTR or something. That's all it is. And everyone loves the GTR. I never hated the V6 and the GT. Would I love to have seen something different? Yeah. But I thought it was pretty cool, you know, especially with the titanium exhaust. It actually had a really good sound. Or some of the aftermarket exhaust you can get sounded like a GTR. You know, it sounded the way it performed, and it was fast. It's a fast car. But we'll see. Maybe, you know, maybe this next final send-off for the GT is going to have just ridiculous amount of power from a just crazy, you know, V8 Ford's developing here. So who knows? Who knows what's been in this engine? Of course, this is something that's going to be, you know, followed on here for a while until actual information comes out. But as far as we know now, there is a Ford GT running around the streets with an engine other than the EcoBoost. That's all we know. But yeah, I just want to make this because I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was a cool story here to kind of just give some life back into the fun part of Ford. So it's, you know, even though the Ford GT is a vehicle that's off limits for most of us, at least it's some very small bit of hope that Ford is at least trying to create some fun, enthusiast-oriented vehicles for us before they all go to EV. But that is it for this video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share with everyone you know if you want to see more content like this. And go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Keep a lookout for the next true car enthusiast video.